Good morning. I woke up this morning. I was still in bed. I think my eyes were still closed. And the words, space is grace, kind of like fluttered through my brain. And I'm like, what the fuck? Space is grace. I always talk about ever since I kind of like broke through and realized one of the key components to really get to the meat of healing, meaning like softening the nervous system, and just starting to like chill the fuck out with everything. Sometimes it's just like I can't. I don't even feel it. It's still tight in the nervous system. It's tight in my chest. I'm a pretty practical person, so I like to just, I know that there's like shit we need to like feel so that it like comes up and out. So yeah, we do that all the time, especially if you are kind of on that journey, on the path to say, I am just done with the bullshit. I'm ready to like start like removing stuff. Okay, so you are on the healing journey. One of the more practical approaches I found that was really helpful for me to like break through is the space. Giving people space, not physical space like, oh, I'm not going to check in with you, or you're not having a great day, I'm just going to like leave you alone. That's not what I mean by space. I mean space to just make their mistakes. Space is grace, meaning if you kind of go around with that space, and it's a safe space, it's a space to allow people to be whoever they are in that moment. Now, I'm not saying, don't set up boundaries and let them walk all over you. I mean, sometimes you do have to just like, kind of walk away if they're just like on a rampage of grumpiness. That is the time where you really physically give them the space. But I'm talking about the mental space. That is a space where you are almost in a constant state of forgiveness. What does that mean? That means you are at peace with whatever's kind of going on all around you. And when we're all like kind of making these little mistakes or errors, whatever you want to call them, in our, how our brain perceives it as mistakes. Really, what are we talking about? Somebody jumps in front of you in line at the grocery store, or you get cut off, driving. I mean, those can be maddening, right? Just so annoying. But if you practice the space piece, just giving space, allow people to fuck up, allow them to just have their little errors or flaws or whatever you want to, just give them the space. You're going to start to feel less irritated by those things, because by giving them the space, you're actually giving permission to yourself for that space as well. Oh, I said something that just didn't land right. I may have hurt that person's feelings, but I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna give myself that space to, make those errors, because by giving that space, you immediately can kind of course correct and say, hey, I'm so sorry, or even mentally just say, nope, don't go there, don't need to. So what? It's kind of like that let them theory. Let them. So when you give everybody that space, you're giving them the grace to be human. And you'll find that the more you do that, you're going to feel more peaceful. You're going to put your nervous system at a state of rest, and you also might find that people aren't, making so many mistakes or kind of acting funny or whatever in your presence, because energetically you're making them feel safe with you by giving them that space. When people feel safe around you, they tend to let their guard down. They tend to be more conscious of how they're approaching you, and that consciousness is fueled by love and compassion and understanding. So by giving them the space, you're making them feel safe, you're feeling safe, and you kind of go about your day in a more kind of peaceful, contented direction. So space is grace. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Mwah.